Anthranilic acid from urea and phthalic anhydride. Let's measure 2 grams of urea. Okay, it's slightly more. I got like 2.3 grams here. Let's say it's okay amount. Excess urea is used for higher yield and higher purity because it's easy to separate. And wash this very carefully. Okay, so let's not do the same with expensive phthalic anhydride. Let's try to measure 10 grams without spilling everything like with cheap urea. Okay, again I spilled. Okay, let's say this is fine. Let's grind it into fine powder so it reacts more evenly, I guess. And I really don't recommend breathing that dust. And I wouldn't trust this casing of coffee grinder because it leaks what I grind in. It's not really ideal indoors. I recommend doing this at least on balcony. So now, instead of using fan like normal person, I decided to use paper, my favorite method. To direct it into flask, turn on the heating, it decomposes urea into ammonia and I think some acid, I don't know exactly. And now let's just wrap it for good heat insulation. Let's say a reaction is out at this point. I don't know how long it took. I'm trying to get a whiff of ammonia, but I don't smell it. Is it a bad sign? I hope not so. And it looks very different. So I assume it went good. Let's put in water. Phthalimide isn't really water soluble, so I'm not losing yield. I remove unreacted urea, which is highly water soluble. This part was satisfying, and time to filter it. Coffee filter is fine, but I think something like piece of cloth can be used to another part of washing. Breaking it with very ideal piece of wood instead of using anything normal person would. And filtering it again. This part is pretty simple. Okay, so let's measure 10 grams of sodium hydroxide. Okay, I had to add a bit too much, so let's say it doesn't matter. Yes, I'm adding water to base, but unless it's stirring or powder, it isn't that bad on this scale, but you should do it otherwise. It's quite warm, but it gets much hotter when it's stirred. So let's cool it down. Yeah, food grade freezer sounds just fine. Now I'm measuring bleach 32 milliliters. Okay, let's turn on the stirring. It's pretty cold from the freezer. Let's add the bleach we measured. I think this addition is exothermic, so I recommend the ice bath or pre-cooling bleach or whatever before if doing large scale or bigger scale. It should be under 5 degrees Celsius, I didn't measure. So this is dried and hopefully phthalimide from previous reaction. Let's put it in, and when everything is dissolved, the reaction should be done. And don't do the same mistake as me, and please cover your flask. You'll see why. Yeah, here you got the reason. And the hot plate looks pretty not good till now. Now I decided to transfer to bigger flasks, so let's wash the previous with water. I measured like 30 milliliters. And into it dissolve more sodium hydroxide, let's say 7.4 grams, it's for decarboxylation. Solution is meant to be pretty alkaline because it's decarboxylation. I think this stir bar issue is caused because of uneven bottom of flask, because I decided it is good idea to ignite deodorant spray in it. It wasn't good idea, I think it damaged the glass. I hate cleanups. Enjoy your time. Okay, let's measure some random amount of hydrochloric acid. This one should be like 13%. I made it from table salt and bisulfate. Now let's say this is enough. We're just pushing pH to like 3.5, so it doesn't have to be super precise. Okay, let's turn on the stirring. And now just start adding hydrochloric acid. We can be fast on the beginning because it's just neutralization of sodium hydroxide, but when when it's neutralized, it shall produce carbon dioxide, and well, it can foam pretty much a lot. Yes, I got a big space, but it still could overflow, and that's not good. Let's cover to prevent losses. Wait for it to cool down a bit, and then I can measure pH. Okay, here we go, pH paper and the random pipette. Carefully submerge it a bit and test the pH. Yes, it's still very alkaline. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't. Yeah, this is what I was talking about pretty much. You see, don't do it so fast. I very much underestimated that. Fortunately, I got here beaker to save it. Okay, the foam pretty much is dropping, so let's continue. Turn on the stirring. Oh, why is it black? I didn't even notice that. Looks like a good part. Looks like something is precipitated out. Pretty interesting to look at. Don't tell me it's going to do the same again. So, here I got sample. It's around neutral, I guess. I was adding more hydrochloric acid, but I think I overshoot it by just a little. This looks close to ideal, but I think a little too acidic, so let's just add more sodium hydroxide, not too much. When raising pH by sodium hydroxide or anything, solution is recommended, but I didn't really care. It's a little bit too solid, you know, so let's just try to dump it in there. Well, I'm just washing it and the flask with some water to remove impurities and have high yield. Don't use hot water because it's somewhat decently soluble in hot water. I hate slow filtering. Definitely the best drying setup you have ever seen. Anyway, so let's just spread this thick paste, of course with stir bar because why not. 3 days later it looks somewhat dry, not fully dry, but whatever. Let's try to dissolve it in hot water to purify it. It kinda looks like chocolate. Taste, I'm wondering how does it taste. Okay, let's transfer it to this measuring jug, I mean beaker. Okay, here I got boiling water and let's just add it. Delicious forbidden chocolate. There is stir bar, so let's just turn on the stirring and See how it goes. Ow, it's hot. Yeah, according to my tweezers, it looks like everything has dissolved somewhat. I think I added too much water. Let's take it out of the freezer. Yes, it was with food storage, but whatever. I covered it to prevent spicy fumes in freezer for a bit too long, and look at this. I think I let it a bit too long, but these are so beautiful crystals. I think there's nothing to filter because it all solidified, I guess. This wasn't best drying spot, but anyways, it looks kinda dry. Let's try to collect this carefully. Meanwhile, let's put on this remaining anthranilic acid solution on a hot plate to evaporate water. Okay, so this is the amount I got. I really don't recommend breathing in dust because it hurts. Please like this video if you enjoy it, it suffers a lot. The low yield is from crystallization. It's now pretty crunchy. Subscribe for more content.